Hey Teacher Bridges. Can I talk to you for a second?
How may I help you, Mr. Insert Principal Name here?
Well, you've been teaching at Shadowbox Middle School for many years. I mean, you're roughly 40-something in this video.
Bold of you to assume I'd still have hair. By my 40s, I'll probably have twirled it all out before 25.
For the sake of this journal, pretend you're 40.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm in character.
Anyway, since you've been teaching for so long, you've worked on understanding by design a long time. How does your new understanding of understanding by design, also known as integrated curriculum and adolescent development, affect your concepts of lesson planning?
Well, there are learning targets. We aim for students to learn. I've talked about backwards design before, but to clarify, the concept is that teachers start from the end. What do we want students to learn by the end of the lesson? Once we figure that out, one of the next steps is to flesh out those learning targets. Part of the lesson planning process is to word the learning. What I mean by that is, we should be able to have defined words for the multiple aspects of the lesson. When I was taking education classes in college, I watched an Edpuzzle that perfectly summarized this point. It said that there are 3 parts. 1. Defining essential content and questions. 2. Help students define their reasoning process. 3. Figure out how students can prove understanding. There are many ways to go about it, especially with the third point. At Phoenix Middle School, which in this future turned into Shadowbox Middle School for some reason, my cooperating teacher let students choose how to test their knowledge. After each unit, usually they could either choose to do a quiz or write a paper. If they choose to do a paper, he gave them a set of guidelines the paper had to cover. Not that anyone's counting, but it's probably been 1,800 days since he retired. Anyway, this integrates an example from a class reading from my college days. Although the Edpuzzles also brought it up to some degree, the concept of student curriculum integration, in a way that connects to the placement example most, giving students a choice in their education, helps teachers gain more personal feedback on our lessons. There is a quote, knowledge is power, but only when it's applied. Another one of the Edpuzzles talks about enduring understanding, and the ways in which students transfer that knowledge. To sum it up in a sentence, students will understand that, fill in the blank. Teachers need to take into consideration context, the subject matter, what should be prioritized, the grade level, student ability, and how much time is allowed per unit. As a teacher, over the past 20-something years, I've tried to utilize the importance of essential questions in my lessons. They are at the heart of my lessons. There isn't one answer, and it encourages my students to think outside the box. As long as I remind myself about the previously mentioned considerations, the lessons help my students draw their own conclusions.
One last question. How come all of your older man characters look like either one of your dads or Bernie Sanders?
Oh no, Bernie, he found us.
Let's get out of here, Kirby.
Mr. Insert Principal Name here. Your character is modeled and named after my dad, Tom.
That's not true. That's impossible.
Look at the script for this video. You know it to be true.
Okay, looks like you're right.